Greetings and guten Tag, friends. Thank you for watching this video. My name is Zach, or my Trilogy. I've decided to compile a list of my 15 favorite adventure games. This is just one man's opinion, but I should share a few of these with most of you, or hopefully all of you, at least have one or two different games. Regardless, I hope that all of you can enjoy and look back at my top 15 favorite adventure games. Coming in at number 15 is Escape from Monkey Island. Spoiler alert, all 4 Monkey Island titles will be on this top 15, starting with, of course, number 15, the worst of the 4 Monkey Island. I love the Monkey Island series and everything that is done for the adventure genre, but I don't think that Escape from Monkey Island quite holds up over time. There are a few issues with the game itself, including the camera angles as well as the graphics. Neither one does quite well in this day and age when we play it on our modern computers. It just doesn't make any sense. It's got great characters, great scenery, wonderful music and voice acting, but unfortunately the whole graphical element prevents it from being a high replay game. Though I can still appreciate it many years later, I wish they would have kept with the same 2D style that made the first 3 games so gorgeous. That's why Escape from Monkey Island stays at number 15. Number 14 is Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, the graphical adventure by LucasArts. This was one of the first LucasArts adventure games. In fact, it was so old it was released under the original name of the company, which was Lucasfilm Games. I actually didn't play it until maybe 4 or 5 years ago, much long after the game came out, of course. And I remember it being somewhat similar to the movie, but it had its own kind of fun spin on it. The story is still good, even though there's no talking in it, just the basic 16-bit music, and it used the verb action words that LucasArts would later use with its other games. Overall, it was a great game that complemented a great movie and well worth the play at number 14. Number 13 is 5 Days a Stranger, developed by the one-man machine Ben Yahtzee Croshaw. One of my favorite video game genres is horror. I love to be scared while playing a video game. And you'd think by looking at the gameplay here, how can a game with old school graphics have any horror elements to it? And I have to tell you that this game scared my pants off. This game thrives in its minimalistic setting simply because the story, the actions, and the characters are so great. And the plot twists are amazing. Just when you think you've understood what's going on, just when you think you understand, who the killer is in the story, think again, And for any fan of horror games, adventure games, point-and-click games, this is a title you have to check out. It's wonderfully done, great story, and a great creator who's produced many other great games. Number 12 is Beneath the Steel Sky, developed by Revolution Software. This post-apocalyptic video game has a very slick and beautiful graphic interface system. In addition to the hand-painted backdrops and the wonderful character voices and acting, the game also has a slightly spooky sci-fi and yet painfully short story. It may also be one of the very few games on this list where the character can flat out die. And while I appreciate what LucasArts has done in reinventing the character death sequence, it does add a sense of thrill to the gameplay overall. What's more exciting is that this game has recently been remastered, and you can download this game for free from the Revolution website. If you love a good sci-fi adventure and were sorely disappointed by LucasArts' dig, I recommend you to check out number 12, Beneath the Steel Sky. Coming in at number 11 is Teen Agent, developed by Metropolis Software House, a Polish company. You really don't hear a lot about this game, and that's unfortunate because it's got a lot of good things that other point-and-click adventures have as well, but that are more notable. It could easily be alongside the LucasArts games. The downsides are it's very short, and it's got very little to take away from it. Not really a whole lot of memorable elements. I just remember it fondly from childhood. I think my mom found it, and I downloaded it subsequently and played it and beat it within a couple days. But it was definitely funny, fun, and great script. You can actually download this game for free at GOG.com, and you can probably play it yourself if you have the DOSBox emulator or whatever. But I would recommend playing it at number 11. Number 10 is Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis, developed by LucasArts. LucasArts took a chance on Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis because it deviated from the story of the 3 movies. The good news was that it played on the strengths of an already perfected system, as seen in Loom and Secret of Monkey Island. The story is invigorating and one of the best aspects of the game. Originally there was no sound, but eventually they did adapt it to the more modern format, which This is the version I played. The version with the dialogue included obviously enhances it, as well as the scenery. Got a lot of good location choices in this game, and coupled with some witty dialogue. All around, great system and a great addition to the Indiana Jones series. Number 9 is Salmon Max Hit the Road, developed by LucasArts Studios. Believe it or not, I watched the Salmon Max cartoon show before I even attempted playing the game. Though I remember it vaguely from my childhood, I never got a chance to play the game until much recently, say 6 or 7 years ago on the Scum VM engine. Salmon Max is a conventional click-and-point adventure from a purely mechanical point of view, but honestly, the script and dialogue, as well as the two very strange characters of Salmon Max, make this game a head above the rest. In addition to memorable and strange characters, you'll be subjected to a variety of strange tourist attractions supposedly around the United States. It was also very funny to see Max wander around while Sam would try to figure the puzzles out. Like I said before, you'll walk away from this game definitely remembering it, so I give this an easy 9. Number 8 is Gemini Roo, developed by Wadget Eye Games. While most of the games we mentioned are very fun, none of them has quite the complex storyline that Gemini Roo has. In fact, besides Beneath the Steel Sky, it's the only science fiction game on this list. While the gameplay mechanics and point-and-click GUI are very minimalistic, the game makes up with it with an intriguing storyline. It also reveals a crazy plot twist, one that changes the entire game as you knew it. It also has a strong takeaway message, something that's covered in the final conversation that the protagonist has. As the most modern game on this list thus far, there's a lot to like about this game. Number 7 is The Secret of Monkey Island, produced by LucasArts Games. The Secret of Monkey Island, or just Monkey Island 1, serves as a sort of introduction to the genre, especially when it comes to innovative point-and-click adventure games. When it comes to the groundbreaking Monkey Island series, this is definitely and obviously the best place to start. Though the series, in my opinion, gets better as time goes on, The Secret of Monkey Island is still in the top 10 of most people's best game list. It introduces one of the most memorable protagonists of all time, as well as one of the most memorable antagonists of all time. Coupled with a fantastic dialogue system, moving music, and a great and funny story, this is definitely one for the ages. Number 6 is Grim Fandango, produced by LucasArts Studios. Grim Fandango served as an abrupt change to LucasArts games. Former masters of the 2D realm, Grim Fandango was the first to go completely 3D, much like Escape from Monkey Island. And, much like Escape from Monkey Island, there were some huge issues with camera angles. Let's not forget to mention that movement was bound to keyboard bindings rather than the mouse clicking we'd been used to. Still, mechanics aside, it's a wonderfully fresh perspective on a point-and-click adventure game. It's got a great story, something that hasn't before or since been discussed as far as I know. Got great characters, wonderful voice acting, superb soundtrack, all the makings of a classic LucasArts adventure game. I recently played this game again, in fact, and I remembered they don't make games like this anymore. Number 5 is A New Beginning, produced by Daedalic Entertainment. A New Beginning is probably the most beautiful video game I've ever played. The animation is superb, beautiful, entrancing. Just something that you won't find in any other game these days. The characters are real. They're fleshed out, they're given emotion, the audience has sympathy for them. Though the game does get dull at some points, and the puzzles can be a bit illogical at times, one still can't help but feel enraptured by the environment that A New Beginning has. Daedalic Entertainment, which also produced A Whispered World, has a lot to offer us, and makes me wonder, I think Germans have got adventure games right. A New Beginning, at number 5, proves that. Number 4 is Day of the Tentacle, produced by LucasArts Studios. On the box of Day of the Tentacle, it says, a cartoon adventure, and I can't think of a better phrase to describe this game. It's got funny characters, a funny story, and a very interesting plot twist. I mean, think about it. You take 3 teenagers and put them in 3 different time periods, it's bound to be hilarious. And, thanks to Day of the Tentacle, we now have the word Porta-John. This is probably the adventure game that I enjoy replaying the most because of its storyline. It's just downright hilarious, and that's why it's sticking at number 4. Number 3 is Monkey Island 2 LeChuck's Revenge, produced by LucasArts Studios. Monkey Island 2 is the first adventure game I ever remember playing. My 4-year-old self would watch my mom play Monkey Island with wondrous eyes, and every time I'd step up to the plate, I'd have no idea what I was doing. Go figure. Still, as time has gone by, I've learned to appreciate Monkey Island 2 more and more, for its art direction, for its writing, its characters, and the continuation of one of the greatest franchises in video game history. For the longest time, it remained my favorite adventure game. And though it sits at number 3, Monkey Island 2 set the bar pretty high. With the new special editions of Monkey Island 1 and 2 coming out in recent years, one can now reappreciate what LucasArts gave us in the Monkey Island series. Number 2 is Broken Sword, The Shadow of the Templars, produced by Revolution Software. If it wasn't for A New Beginning, I'd say this is the most beautiful game on this list. Even the cutscenes have a truly remarkable style about them that excels in animation. Still, what I love most about Broken Sword is its story. You've heard me talk about story several times because it's truly important to me, very important for a successful adventure game. Games live and die by their story and how well it engages the player. Broken Sword is one of those games that I was at the edge of my seat the entire time trying to figure out what was going on. And I felt the main character, George Stobart, was a perfect example of the average Joe, the guy just trying to figure things out, the guy who embodied the player. I have fond memories playing this game, and even fonder ones replaying this game. And that's why it's safely tucked away at number 2. Number 1 is Monkey Island 3, The Curse of Monkey Island, produced by LucasArts Studios. It took me a long time to reach this conclusion, that Curse of Monkey Island was my favorite adventure game of all time. Many other games, all of which you just heard, provide a competitive challenge to the number 1 spot. But when I stood back and looked at everything, I realized Curse of Monkey Island was the best choice. It has one of the best replay values. It still holds up today thanks to its wonderful 2D animation. It introduces one of the greatest voice actors in video game history, Dominic Armato, and basically solidified Monkey Island as a landmark video game franchise. When I think adventure game, right off the bat I think Monkey Island 3, the perfect embodiment of a point-and-click, easy to use, well done, engrossing video game. I hope you've enjoyed my top 15 list. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to write in the comment section your favorite adventure games. Maybe we have one or two or more in common. Thanks again for watching, and stay tuned for more videos.